So here's a definition. A series, the series of A sub n, is called absolutely convergent if the series of absolute values which would be this, the series absolute value of A sub n is convergent. So if that happens, we say we have absolute convergence. And here's an example. So now we'll consider this series. The series as n starts at 1 and goes to infinity of -1 to the n minus 1 over n squared, which, by the way, equals this. The series as n goes from 1 to infinity of -1 to the n minus 1 times 1 over n squared. I like to kind of, if it's alternating, I like to put the -1 to the power in the front where it's like, there it is alternating. So here's a series, and we could ask these kinds of questions. Does this series converge? Yes, by the alternating series test, this does converge. Okay, now here's another question. Does it converge absolutely? Yes. Does this series converge absolutely? And the question there is, that question, I could reword it like this. Does this series, as n goes from 1 to infinity, of the absolute value of -1 to the n minus 1 times 1 over n squared, does that series converge? That's the question I'm asking when I ask if something converges absolutely. Well, what does this equal? What happens with those absolute value signs? Gets rid of that -1 to the n minus 1. So it would give me just this. I would end up with the series as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 over n squared. Let me write my, does this series converge? Yes. How do you know? P series, and P equals 2. So P is greater than 1. So yes, this is P series. So then I can say, does this alternating series converge absolutely? Yes. All right, so let's see. Let's get that like that. So now I can say this. I'll write therefore, the series as n goes from 1 to infinity of -1 to the n minus 1 over n squared converges absolutely. So absolute convergence is a stronger form of convergence than just saying something converges. Now here's a theorem. You can put this in your toolbox of things you can use to determine if something converges or not. So it's this: if a series is absolutely convergent, then it is convergent. If a series, the sum of a sub n's, is absolutely convergent, then it is convergent.